everyone. It's me, Geetha, and welcome to our podcast. Today, I'm not going to talk about stocks or mutual funds or your asset allocation. No, I want to tell you something that just happened, something I'd never imagined I'd be saying out loud. I almost got scammed. I know you're probably thinking, what? You, the person who takes classes about being smart with money, who teaches financial literacy? Yes, me. Because here's the truth, money is never just numbers on a spreadsheet. If you've ever read the book Psychology of Money, you know exactly what I mean. Money is tied to our fears, our identity, our childhood, our family, our safety. And that's exactly what collided inside me yesterday. Let me tell you what happened. It started on the day that was already quite emotionally heavy. There was the news of the Air India crash, and the moment I heard it, I was shaken. I was scrolling news stories and I was watching these heartbreaking videos and just generally trying to process the grief and the shock in my head. And right in the middle of all that, I got a call. The number looked like a bank call center, and the woman on the phone was very professional, polite, not aggressive or shady at all. And she knew everything, my full name, my ID card number, where I supposedly hold my bank account, and which branch I'm in. And she said something that someone had just applied for a credit card in my name and they were trying to swipe it for $1,299. My first reaction was, huh? I never applied for any card. And she very calmly said, ma'am, this looks like an identity theft. We think your ID has been compromised, and I don't know what happened that, but in that moment, I froze. She said that the person had created fake login details, put in different contact information, and the system couldn't verify it. But your number was on the original record, she said, and that's why we are calling you to confirm. The more she spoke, the more I got pulled in. Suddenly, I wasn't a financial educator anymore. I was just a mom desperately thinking, oh my God, that's the account where we pay the kids' school fees. What if they empty the account? And I was frantically checking my bank app. Nothing was showing. And I told her that. But she replied, that's because she has used alternate contact info. You won't be able to see anything until it's too late. And then she said the most terrifying thing. She said, ma'am, this may be linked to vice activities. They may already be using your ID for criminal activities. And that was it. That was my weak spot. I was trembling. I could feel my chest tightening, and I just, I blurted out, cancel the card, freeze everything. But she said, sorry, we can't cancel it unless you have a police report. The card is temporarily frozen for now, but if there's another swipe, it may go through. And then I just broke. I said, you know what? Please hold on line. Let me bring my husband on the call. I don't know what miracle happened, but my husband picked up immediately. Usually he's in back to back meetings in the mornings, but this time he answered and I quickly filled him in. And the woman repeated everything to him. And God bless that man. Something didn't sit right with him. Calmly, he said, okay, we'll go to the bank directly and sort this out. Thank you. And hung up. And I thought that was it. But no, the woman was still on the call. She said, ma'am, we still need you to file the police report. It's very urgent. I was already feeling better just hearing my husband's calm voice. But then she said something that finally lit the bulb in my brain. She said, we have a police officer right here on campus who can help you file the report immediately. And I paused. Wait, what? Which bank has a police officer sitting inside their call center to help customers file identity theft reports? And that's when everything clicked. I said, thank you. I have a meeting now. I'll call back. And I cut the call. My hands were still shaking, but my gut has finally come back online. I spent, I spent so much of my life telling people pause before you act, double check, don't give information over the phone. I literally teach people how to sniff out scams. But that day, I was vulnerable, I was tired, I was quite emotional, and the scammer knew just how to play that. Now, this is the part I want you to hear loud and clear. Scammers don't just steal money, they hijack your emotion. They don't sound like fraudsters, they sound like professionals. They use urgency, guilt, panic, and they catch you when you're off guard. The biggest thing I learned from my experience: pause. Pause even if you feel that the world is burning, and don't decide anything alone especially when you're not in a calm state. I'm trained in this stuff and I still needed someone else to anchor me. So here's what I want you to remember, my dear listener. If you ever face something like this, don't give any personal info over the phone, even if they sound official. If in doubt, hang up immediately. Call your bank directly using the number that's on their website. Don't act from fear. Take a deep breath. Act from facts. Loop someone into the conversation before you make a move. Your friend, your family, anyone, someone. And most importantly, talk about it. These people thrive on silence. And I want to add one last thing, especially for parents. Please talk to your kids about scams. These days, scams are so clever. They are not targeting just adults. And I know that many kids right now use smartphones, they have their own prepaid debit cards and whatnot. The scammers, they send texts that look exactly like from school apps. They are making calls pretending to be banks, insurance companies, even the police. So just like we teach our kids to spend wisely, let's teach them how not to fall for digital traps. Let them practice. What do you do when someone says there's an emergency? How do you pause, ask for help, and stay safe? This is not paranoia, it's protection. It's like giving them a financial seatbelt for the world that they're growing up in. Financial literacy isn't just about investing, it's also about protecting what you already have. It's about knowing what to do when fear knocks on your door, disguised as a helpful voice. I hope my story makes you a little more aware, a little more alert, and a lot more gentle with yourself, because even the most careful of us can slip, but we can bounce back stronger. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next episode.